Good morning, everybody. Uh, this is Dr. Sandil enlightening you about the male reproductive system. This part, as Madam had discussed about the female, with Mantha discussing about sex determination and differentiation, will be encompassing about the details regarding the male reproductive system. It consists of glands with their ducts and supporting structures. The glands are a pair of testes, the primary sex organ, which has a dual function, the spermatogenesis and endocrine function. Testis is developed within the abdomen and the embryo. By the end of the 7th month of intrauterine life, the testis descends into the scrotum through the inguinal canal. When the testes do not descend into the scrotum, the condition is called cryptorchidism. It also contains accessory sex organs like a pair of seminal vesicle, a pair of bulbourethral gland, and the largest prostate gland. Along with that, the ducts of the testis, which include the epididymis, the vas deferens, a pair of ejaculatory ducts, and a urethra. The other supporting structures are the pair of spermatic cord, and the external are the scrotum. It's covered by the dartos muscle, which is enclosing the penis, the external genitalia, which is the copulatory organ. The sagittal section of a male reproductive system can be visualized in this picture, wherein there is a testis, along with the rete testis, with which continues as epididymis, which is around 6 meters long, which eventually ends in the vas deferens. The vas deferens duct joins with the duct of seminal vesicle to form ejaculatory duct along, and it enters the prostate and continues along with the urethra. So this is the sagittal section, and you can see a pair of seminal vesicle placed above the prostate behind the bladder, and you have the bulbourethral gland with Cowper's gland. The testis, which is around the primary sex organ, weighs around 10 to 40 grams with an average weight of 25 grams. It contains 200 to 300 vesicles, that is the seminal tubules, that is 200 to 300 lobules in each testis, and 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules in each lobule. Each seminiferous tubule is around 70 centimeter in length. This occupies 80 to 90% of the testis. This testis also contain interstitial compartment, which occupies 10 to 20% of the volume. These are called as the interstitial cells of Leydig, which secrete testosterone. It is rich, innervated by the sympathetic, and the blood supply is very peculiar in testis because the spermatic arteries are tortuous and they lie parallel and counter to pampinea plexus of spermatic veins. The direction of the blood flow in the artery and vein is opposite to each other. Heat and testosterone can be exchanged between the artery and the vein, and this is called countercurrent exchange system, which is essential for exchange of heat and testosterone. Because of this mechanism, the temperature of testis is maintained 2 degrees lower than the body temperature, and the local concentration of testosterone is maintained at high level. Both of these factors are very essential for normal spermatogenesis. The testis, which has 750 seminiferous tubules, is covered by tunica albuginea, which is a connective tissue, It envelops and the partitions of the intestines open into lobules. Each lobules contain 3 to 4 seminiferous tubules, which opens into a connective rete testis, where it is stored and concentrated, and the fluid is reabsorbed in the rete testis, or otherwise it leads to dilution, which eventually leads to sterility, and which continues into ductili efferentis and epididymis, and along the epididymis it opens into vas deferens from the tail of epididymis. Epididymis is 6 to 7 centimeter long, attached to the back of the testis. The lobule has collagen fibers and Leydig cells, stores and helps in maturation of the sperms. There are different types of cells which are present in testis. The interstitial cells of Leydig, which are endocrinal cells, develop from the mesoderm of the embryo, arranged around the blood vessels in the interstitial compartment. They secrete testosterone at puberty, which helps in growth of accessory organs of reproduction and is responsible for appearance of secondary sexual characteristics during puberty. The large sustentacular cells or the nurse cells called the Sertoli cells are very particularly special cells which help in the contribution of blood testis barrier, and they have a role in spermatogenesis and endocrine functions. So these Sertoli cells are large columnar rich in glycogen. The glycogen helps in nutrition of the sperms. The Sertoli cells secrete androgen binding protein, inhibin, which is an hormone, and Mullerian regression factor, which regresses the Mullerian duct in boy babies. It secretes aromatase, which converts androgen to estrogen, which is essential for spermiogenesis. It also helps in the formation of blood testis barrier due to the presence of tight junctions. There are tight junctions between the adjacent Sertoli cells near the basement membrane, which forms the blood testis barrier. This barrier is important because spermatogenic cells have surface antigens that are recognized as foreign by the immune system. Thus, immune response is prevented by isolating the spermatogenic cells from the blood. What are the functions of blood testis barrier? They prevent passage of proteins and large molecules from the interstitial space. The barrier maintains the composition of seminiferous tubular fluid for proper spermatogenesis. They protect the germ cells from blood-borne noxious agents and prevents the occurrence of autoimmune response. Helps to establish an osmotic gradient which facilitates fluid movement through the tubular lumen. They also have a role in spermatogenesis. Sertoli cells can engulf damaged germ cells, and they phagocytize defective sperms and help in spermiation. The release of sperm cell from its connection to the sustentacular cell is known as spermiation. The sperm that enters the lumen of the seminiferous tubules and flows towards the epididymis, where it is stored. Spermatogenesis is formed from the germ cells, and these germ cells, which are the spermatogonia A and the stem cell is the spermatogonia A. The process by which spermatozoa are formed is called spermatogenesis. The process by which primitive germ cells in the seminiferous tubules of the testis are converted to mature haploid sperms is called spermatogenesis. This process begins around during adolescence by about 13 years of age. The process continues throughout life, but there is a sharp decline at the old age. Spermatogonia develop from primordial germ cells. They arise from yolk sac, endoderm, and they enter the testis early in development. So there are different stages of spermatogenesis, which is spermatocytogenesis, the meiosis, and spermiogenesis. In spermatocytogenesis, the spermatogonia divide and produce successive generation of cells which give rise to spermatocytes. The spermatogonia are small cells, 12 microns. At puberty, these divide by mitosis several times to produce large number of spermatogonia. There are two types, spermatogonia A and spermatogonia B. So the spermatogonia divides into primary spermatocytes in the first meiotic division, and during second meiosis the secondary spermatocyte is converted to spermatids, and there is spermiogenesis, which forms the spermatozoa, also called as sperms. The average duration is around 60 to 74 days. Let's see what is spermatogenesis. The spermatogonia are small cells. At puberty, they divide by mitosis several times to produce large number of spermatogonia. There are two types of spermatogonia. The spermatogonia which is serve as stem cells have large round nucleus containing 46 chromosomes and swollen cytoplasm. Others differentiate under mitosis to form spermatogonia B. They pass amongst the fertilized cells towards the lumen of seminiferous tubules to form spermatocytes. The spermatogonia B, which are the progenitor cells or precursor of sperms, they undergo differentiation to form primary spermatocytes with 46 chromosomes. These are the most conspicuous shells on cross section. In the next stage, that is, the primary spermatocyte undergo first meiotic division. The homologous pair of chromosomes line up in the center of the cell. In this stage, crossing over occurs, which permit exchange of genes among maternal and paternal chromosome. Such an exchange of genes is termed as recombination. When the first meiotic division is completed, the daughter cells are called secondary spermatocyte, which have haploid number of chromosomes. The second meiotic division follows, and the daughter cells are called as spermatids with 23 chromosomes. Each spermatocyte thus produces 4 spermatids. Spermatids lies close to the lumen of seminiferous tubules. The number of spermatids formed from a single spermatogonium is 512 days. 512, it is 512. And the number of days it takes for spermatogenesis is 60 to 74 days. So spermiogenesis is differentiation of spermatid into spermatozoon. Here the cells, the cytoplasm, and it needs. So whenever there is conversion of spermatids to spermatozoa, this is called spermiogenesis. During spermiogenesis, changes occur in the nucleus and cytoplasm. The nucleus becomes smaller and ovoid. The chromatin gets condensed. This forms the head of the sperm. Small amount of cytoplasm is lost from the spermatid, and nucleus is surrounded by thin film of cytoplasm. There is a thick cap-like structure called as acrosomal cap. It is derived from Golgi apparatus. The acrosome also contains hyaluronidase, which is important for fertilization. That is, it helps the sperm to penetrate the ovum. The remaining portion is the tail and the The release of spermatocytes into the lumen of seminiferous tubules from fertilized cells is called as spermiation. So these are the steps wherein you can see the spermatogonia, where there is mitotic division producing large number of spermatogonia. There are two types, spermatogonia A and B, which divides into primary spermatocyte, which is followed by meiotic division 1, which results in two secondary spermatocyte. Each secondary spermatocyte during the second meiotic division results in spermatids, two spermatids, and finally the spermatozoa. And you can see the end-sheathed fertilized cells, which in between the clefts are the germ cells, are released from the fertilized cells. So you can see the cross section of each, the testis, the seminiferous tubules, and finally the lumen of the seminiferous tubule, which has basically it has a basal portion and a luminal portion, which is encompassed by the tight junctions of the fertilized cells. The maturation of spermatozoa leaving the rete testis continues there. So you can see very clearly how the spermatogonia is divided by first and second meiotic division, and these are the large cells, and you can see the cleft of the germ cells, which are attached by tight junctions. The maturation of spermatozoa leaving the rete testis continues their maturation. As they pass through the epididymis, motility is also acquired as the spermatozoa are stored in epididymis. Whenever the spermatozoa which are formed in the seminiferous tubules are non-motile, so they attain the motility in the epididymis, where there is reabsorption of fluid. They are concentrated, and it also results in maturation of spermatozoa. Motility is also acquired as the spermatozoa are stored in the epididymis. This involves activation of a protein called as Caspr, which is present in the principal piece of sperm. This is a calcium ion channel. When activated, it helps the calcium influx from epididymis. The sperm enters the vas deferens, where they are stored and released during ejaculation. So the regulation of spermatogenesis is mainly from the interstitial cells stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary, also called the LH, which stimulates the Leydig cells, results in secretion of testosterone. As you all know, to maintain a high concentration of testosterone, the fertilized cells release androgen binding protein. If the androgen binding protein is not there, the concentration of testosterone cannot be maintained. So this is the first factor. The second is the follicle stimulating hormone, which stimulates the fertilized cells, promotes production of androgen binding protein, which facilitates last stages of spermatid maturation. And as we all discussed, the temperature is maintained at 32 degrees. This is an important factor that regulates spermatogenesis. It requires temperature lower than body temperature. It's around 32 degrees. The low temperature is maintained by the following factors: constant circulation of air around the scrotum. By contraction of darters and scromaster muscle, the distance between the scrotum and the body can be adjusted. Heat exchange between spermatic artery and pampiniform plexus of veins by quantocurrent mechanism. In cases of undistant testis, the temperature of testis is around 37 degrees. The seminiferous tubules gradually degenerate, and this leads to sterility. Hard baths daily, use of insulated athletics supporters lead to decreased sperm count. The testosterone in high concentration is maintained by the countercurrent, the Leydig cells in close contact, the androgen binding protein, the blood testis barrier, and the Sertoli cells. As we all discussed, the growth hormone is very essential. Necessary for controlling the metabolic functions of testes. The growth hormone promotes division of spermatogonia. Estrogen formed from testosterone and Sertoli cells are essential for spermiogenesis. The other accessory secretions are the seminal fluid, which are lobulated glands. They secrete thick viscid fluid which are alkaline in secretion. They contribute 70% of volume of semen. It joins the vas deferens to form ejaculatory duct. And the prostate, which comprises 70%, and the prostate is around 30 to 50, along with the structure. It's made up of head, middle piece, and tail. The head is very important. It is covered by the acrosome, and it's made up of a nucleus, a condensed nucleus, with the tail, which is made up of the middle section of the middle piece surrounded by the mitochondria. It is made up of microtubules and continues as flagellum, which helps in motility. And this is the structure which has the head, body, and tail. Spermatozoon or elongated cell with 55 to 65 microns has head, neck, middle piece, and tail end piece. Head has nucleus and acrosomal corp, which contains hyaluronidase enzyme, which is essential for penetration of sperm into the ovum during fertilization. The middle piece, which contains the axial filaments, are surrounded by mitochondria, which provides energy. The tail, which is helping in the motility, which helps in the motility of around 1 to 4 mm per minute in the epididymis. Fluid ejaculated at the time of orgasm contains sperm, seminal fluid, and secretions from prostate and bulbourethral gland. Ejaculation is a process of ejection of semen from male genital tract as an autonomic reflex. The volume is around 2.5 to 3.5 ml per ejaculate, which is in white opalescent fluid with a specific gravity of 1028 with a pH of 7.35 to 7.5. The sperm count should be around 80 to 100 million per ml with 80% of normal morphology and 60% should have normal motility. The sperms have abnormal morphology and motility. It leads to infertility. Normal sperms travel at a rate of 3 mm per minute in the genital tract. The other components of semen are from the seminal vesicle, which is around 60% of the semen, and which provides the fructose for energy, the prostaglandins, the ascorbic acid, the flavins, and phosphorylcholine. The functions of prostaglandins are it acts on the cervical mucus and makes it more receptive to sperm. It causes reverse peristalsis. The secretions from prostate are thin, milky alkaline which contains spermin, citric acid, cholesterol, phospholipids, fibrinolysin, zinc, acid phosphatase, and hyaluronidase, which comprises 30% of the semen. Spermin is a polyamine which is plays an important role in cell growth and differentiation. Deficiency of spermin leads to arrest of cell growth, differentiation, and division. It is so called because it was first isolated from semen by Leeuwenhoek in 1678. It is known that it is present in all eukaryotic cells. This function of spermin is to stabilize the double helical structure of DNA by binding the two strands together. Prostate is small in children. It grows at puberty and maximum growth is attained by 20 years and maintained up to 50 years. Testosterone is essential for maintaining prostate. After 50 years, testosterone secretion falls and bulbourethral secretion or the prostate degenerates. The bulbourethral gland secretes alkaline fluid rich in mucus, bicarbonate, and phosphate, and the other 10% is from vas deferens. Normally, the spermatozoa are sluggish in the male genital tract and they become vigorous where they enter the female genital tract. This is mainly because the uterine fluids wash away the inhibitory factors that are inhibited in the male genital. The sperms in the male genital tract continuously are exposed to cholesterol vesicles which do not allow acrosomal reaction. In female genital tract, the sperm move away from the vesicles. Calcium enters due to increased permeability which makes the cilia develop whiplash movements. As they enter the female genital tract, there is an acrosomal reaction. On reaching the zona pellucida of ovum, anterior membrane of sperm binds to the specific receptor in zona pellucida, acrosome dissolves, releases hyaluronidase and proteolytic enzyme, opens a penetrative pathway through zona pellucida to increase ovum. Within 30 minutes, cell membrane of the sperm and ova fuse with exchange of the genetic material equally, resulting in fertilization. Why only one sperm enters? One sperm breaks through zona pellucida and the calcium moves inward through oocyte, degranulating into the perivitrinal space and even falling off the already bound sperms. This is the reason there is no polyspermy. What is sterility? If the sperm count is less than 20 million per ml, or if there are more than 20% abnormal forms in the form of bifid head or the tail motility is decreased, or it is due to cryptorchidism, which is the undescended testis, which usually happens in the 7th month of the intrauterine life, where there is degeneration. Thank you. We will be dealing about the endocrine part of the reproductive system, male reproductive system in the next class.